Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've got a new nail stand from Shein and it's so cute, so we have a little bit of a moment for that. But today we're going to be in full vacation mode. You are literally going to see so much vacation sets coming from me because I just clearly want to be on vacation, but I'm not yet. But in the meantime, we're going to do sets that are going to make me feel like I'm on vacation and then later give me lots and lots of choices of what to wear and end up probably spending hours just staring at my nails, picking out what do I want to wear. But today we're doing this bright, vibrant, kind of ready, undertoned kind of set with lots of palm trees. We've got some bling and just lots and lots of fun. I really like this color because it's giving like, I don't know how you would describe it. It's kind of pinky, but it's kind of giving like a neon-y reddy undertone. I don't know, but it's gorgeous and it's definitely like a vacation color. You are going, like, your nails are going to pop when you've got a tan going on. Like, it's stunning. So we've got 2 nails with that shade, and then the other 3, I want to say, although, I think the other 2, and then the ring finger is going to be an ombre, but the thumb and the pinky, we're going to apply some nails Morning Glow, I believe it is. And as you can see, very sheer color. We are going to do 3 coats of this one off camera, but they're all very thin coats. And then all the rest of the gel polishes, we're going to just do the regular 2 coats. On the ring finger though, we're going to do an ombre. I think ombre, very strange approach I'm having here. Am I? I think so. It's just not my usual. I don't know why, like, I've applied that gel polish so messily. Well, here we go though. Apparently I was clearly confused what I was doing probably when I was filming. But we're doing an ombre, and it can be a bit difficult with a gel polish that is super pigmented compared to a gel polish that is quite sheer and annoying. It's not annoying, but it's annoying in this scenario. So I did have to do a couple coats until I got the desired look. But once we're happy with that though, it's time for the art itself. So on the thumb here, we're doing a French tip, and I'm just outlining the smile line. And I don't know, I've done so many French tips now, guys, that when I do my French tip, I can literally envision where the line is on the nail. I don't know whether I need help or what, but I can literally envision it now, which is why I can just get the nail and just instantly sketch the line out. But I have made some videos on my channel before where I've actually done different tips and tricks on how to achieve a French tip nail. So definitely check that out if you're not too familiar or comfortable with your French tips. But that one is going in Slam for a Cure, and we will do another coat of that, I believe, off camera real quick, whilst I am apparently waiting for that one to come out. Now onto the pinky, we're going to do a French tip as well. So here that one goes, but I'm just going to cut that footage short because you just see me do it. You don't need to see it again, but same process applies. Right, now that that's done, I have to admit, this is probably my least favorite process. I've never, ever been in love or like doing lines, especially these kind of lines. It feels like there's a lot of pressure on my back to try and maintain the same thickness. I feel like with these lines, it's very crucial to keep the lines the same kind of look or thickness across the whole way, and I always find that I struggle with that. So I try to most of the time stay away from these nails, or if I want to create this kind of nail, I will often try and see if I can replace it with a stamping plate, for example. So during the winter time, you can, a lot of people do hand plaid nails, for example, or that kind of pattern on their nails, but I often will opt to do a stamped look because there's just too many lines going on for me, and I just don't like that, and I just find that the stamping takes away the stress and the pressure of getting it right. So yeah, but today we're tackling it, and it wasn't as bad as I thought, but there are some lines that I'm not too pleased with. But if it makes you guys feel any better, because it did for me, we are stamping on top of those lines, so we don't have to worry too much about getting them right, because they will in some ways be covered up. So if you do end up doing a mistake anywhere and you feel like, oh gosh, I would wipe it, as long as it's near the bottom of the nail to about midpoint of the nail, you should be okay to just cover it up with the stamping. You just have to strategically place your stamping just to cover it up, kind of thing. But you want to do those lines on literally those 2 full cover pinky nails, I guess, and also on the French tip nails too, which is a whole thing in itself. And I also outlined the French tip with the white, which is a whole thing in itself as well. So there is no footage of that because I just don't like doing the lines in the first place, and let alone outlining the French tip is just probably like next level dislike. But on those two nails, we're going to do a yellow sun. But I've only shown you me doing the one because we're just going to repeat the same process on the other one. But I start off by doing this plus sign. That's just to kind of guide me where I want that circle to be. And then I do the curved lines to connect it all and create my circle. But off camera, I do a second coat of that yellow as well because the first coat wasn't quite as opaque as I wanted it to. Now I really sped up the process for this part because there's a lot going on, and some bits I was waiting for it to kind of dry up and stuff, so I thought I'll just walk it through and just keep all the footage. So this plate is one of my most loved plates for summer. I might even have to do like a must-have summer kind of video maybe, because I just get unlimited use out of this plate and it's just unreal. So yeah, but anything with palm trees is a good, definitely get it. Honestly, you will love it. But essentially we are kind of creating a bit of a scene on our nails. So wherever the sun is, you kind of creating this look of a sunset with palm trees and stuff. So have a play. You can place it how I placed it, or just whatever you've got to hand. You don't need this exact same plate. You can just grab anything you have that will kind of work and go ahead and kind of stamp away and create your own little scenic look. On this other plate though, I do have these seagull looking things, so I've placed those down there too, but they can realistically be just hand drawn. You can just do like M's and that would just suffice, literally. That'll be just fine. But yeah, once those two nails are done, those are, I believe, now fully done the way they're looking right now. Now on the thumb and the pinky though, I wanted to add some more tropical, well, a tropical feel to the two of them. So on the plate that I've got in front of me right now, there's these like hibiscus tropical looking flowers. There's two different ones, and I'm going to pick up both, but one at a time because I only had one jelly stamper with me at the time. I do have way more. I don't know what was going on with me because I could have done two at a time. But instead I pick up this one first, and I'm going to colour it in with some white at the back. And then I need to wait for this one to dry, especially because I did actually use quite a lot of the white there, so it needed some extra time to dry. It's a very important step, this one, guys. Do not stamp when it's super, super wet, because you're just going to smudge it everywhere and it's just going to go squishy, and it's just not what you want, and you're going to have to repeat everything, and then you're wasting your time, your products, everything of the sorts, especially when you've got a client and you do it. It must be just a nightmare. So definitely give it a moment to dry, and you'll see it dry because it just won't be as shiny anymore, so you know when to stamp then. But if you're ever unsure, just keep waiting, especially if you're obviously using gel polish, then wait. If you're using regular polish, I cannot comment because I never use those, so I don't know how the process works with that. But with gel polish, it naturally leaves a tacky layer, so that creates that layer of helping you transfer it over. So yeah, and then on to the next one though, same process applies. I just picked up a different flower. I just wanted to use up as many designs on that plate as I could because I just love them all. But just also disclaimer though, I don't think I mentioned, Moe London, this is a Moe London plate specifically, they no longer do stamping. Last time I checked, it's been a very long time since I've been on their website. So I don't know if things have changed, but it is a Moe London plate and they no longer do stamping. So you can't necessarily pick up this exact one. I'm sure there might be some resellers that might still have it, so definitely have a look. But this plate isn't anything like crazy. I literally picked up some palm trees. Like, as long as you just get another plate that has palm trees, you're literally set. And you might even find a better one. Shein is actually currently like a really good place for stamping plates. They have these massive XL plates right now and they look amazing. I've picked up a couple. I made a quick short here and there on my channel kind of showing my Shein order, and they are really, really good. Like, nice designs. Can't wait to try them for a full set. But quickly, where we've placed those flowers, we're also going to do a few dots just to add an extra little touch. And now we're on to some bling. So I've come very prepared, and on my little plates there, I've got my design ready to go. So we've got ABs going on today, nothing really else. We do have some caviar beads to place in between the crystals just to give it an extra touch and detail. And I don't really know how to describe the placement as such. On the thumb, we're focusing the placement on the actual smile line itself. So again, if you've done a bit of a mess up, you can cover it up, or a little trick on covering up your mess ups, I guess, is place some crystals there or some stamping. But in between those crystals there, we're obviously doing the caviar beads, and off that one goes into Lamp for a Cure. And then last but not least, I believe it's just that ombre nail now left to figure out. And on that one, it was a bit of like a spontaneous design on that nail, really. I was struggling to figure out what I wanted to do on there, and I just couldn't crack it, really. So I opted to kind of go through my own nail art videos on my channel, and often, if you're regular, you'd probably remember or know that I would always have one nail when I did my stilettos mainly on my channel. There would always be that one nail that had an ombre and had a massive crystal placement in the center of that nail, and this is literally it. So we're doing that. We're going back to our root, guys. But luckily the crystal placement isn't too wild, because these are going to be wearable ones, and we have to live with these for a week or 2 or 3, however long I'm able to get my wear out of them. So we have to be a bit more careful with our placement there. So I've got all ABs really, and I've got like a, I think it's like a bow AB crystal there. And then again, I think in between, yes, we're going to do some caviar beads as well. Fun. And I don't know, let me know what you think of caviar beads. I know they can be a bit annoying to place down sometimes, but when I compare a set that has it and doesn't, I always pick the one that has it. I just can't, it just that extra little touch, that finishing touch. It just kind of needs it sometimes. Without it, it just feels like it's like a bare placement. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so used to the caviar beads now that I just can't, not live with it or live without it. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of caviar beads, because I love them so much. And then, yeah, once I'm happy and I think it's as center as I can get it, I'll pop that one into Lamp for a Cure. At this stage, we are top coating. I am using my Macart glossy top coat that I'm going to apply on all those nails, of course. The ones that have crystals, though, I will be applying a second coat. That just helps with my retention, and it stays on there for real good. I'm yet to lose a crystal, so once that day comes, I will let you know when it falls off. But until then, hopefully you don't hear back from me. But yeah, I'm going to apply the top coat and also cap the edges as much as I can, just to help. Obviously, I try and take steps so that I can reuse them, because you put a lot of effort into your press on nails, so you just want to reuse them and not have to waste your time again doing the exact same sets and all that jazz. So, and especially when you're selling, you want them to be reusable or as best quality as you can. So this is a step you can take to help prolong and not chip or anything like that. But once that goes into the lab, that'll be the set done, guys. So let me know what you think. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys feel like you just want to go on vacation, or hopefully it helps you get ready for vacation. But yeah, if you like the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.